Good evening, this is Ashley Perone with the news update for December 2nd, 2013. Today I will be discussing the new proposed simplified mortgage disclosures. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, also known as the DFA, was signed into law in July 2010. The DFA directs the CFPB to issue proposed rules and forms that combine certain disclosures under the Truth in Lending Act and the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act that consumers receive in connection with applying for and closing on a mortgage loan transaction. Because different regulating bodies were responsible for developing and maintaining their own disclosures for over 30 years, the information on the existing disclosures is overlapping and the language is inconsistent. As a result, the CFPB was involved in extensive consumer and industry research and public outreach for over a year. Both the TILA and the RESPA require that creditors provide consumers with a good faith estimate of charges within 3 business days after receiving the consumer's mortgage loan application, as well as providing the consumer with a list of closing costs prior to loan settlement. The proposed rule applies to most closed-end consumer mortgages. However, the proposed rule does not apply to home equity lines of credit, reverse mortgages, mortgages secured by a mobile home, a dwelling that is not attached to real property, i.e. land, or creditors that make 5 or fewer mortgage loans per year. The proposed rule will replace RESPA's good faith estimate and the initial truth in lending disclosure with the new loan estimate disclosure, and RESPA's HUD-1 settlement statement and the final truth in lending disclosure with the new closing disclosure. These new disclosures forms also contain new disclosure requirements as mandated by the DFA. The forms use clear language and designed to make it easier for consumers to locate key information such as interest rate, monthly payments, and costs to close the loan. The forms also provide more information to help consumers decide whether they can afford the loan and to compare the cost of different loan offers, including the cost of the loan over time. In developing the new loan estimate form and closing disclosure form, the Bureau has reconciled the differences between the existing forms and combined several of other mandated disclosures. The Bureau also has responded to industry complaints of uncertainty about how to fill out the existing forms by providing detailed instructions on how to complete the new forms. This should reduce the burden on lenders and others in preparing forms in the future. The loan estimate form is designed to provide disclosures that will be helpful to consumers in understanding the key features, costs, and risks of the mortgage for which they are applying. This form will be provided to consumers within 3 business days after they submit a loan application. The loan estimate form also incorporates the following new disclosures required by Congress under the DFA: provision by mortgage broker, timing, limitation on fees, and disclaimer on early estimates. Each of these new disclosures is explained in further detail. This concludes the news update for the day. Thank you for your time. Have a good night.